In the next 60 seconds, an automated script running on a server halfway across the world could successfully guess your password, bypass your basic security, and lock you out of your primary email account forever. This isn't the old days of hacking where a guy in a hoodie stares at a green screen for hours trying to find a backdoor. In 2026, the hackers have handed the keys over to artificial intelligence. We are talking about neural networks that have been trained on billions of leaked credentials, capable of predicting your next password choice with terrifying accuracy based on your social media interests, your pet's name, and that one sports team you followed in high school. The traditional password is officially a relic of the past, and if you are still relying on a string of characters to protect your digital life, you are essentially leaving your front door unlocked in a neighborhood that never sleeps. But here's the thing that will save you. There is one specific setting, buried in the security menus of almost every major platform, that renders these AI-driven attacks completely useless. Today, we are breaking down the exact mechanics of how AI is breaking into accounts in record time and, more importantly, the one move you need to make right now to stop them in their tracks. To understand why your current password is failing, you have to understand how AI has revolutionized what we call brute force attacks. In the past, a brute force attack was just a computer trying every possible combination of letters and numbers in a linear fashion. It was slow and easy for servers to detect and block. But AI-powered cracking tools, like the latest versions of Pascan, don't work like that. They use generative adversarial networks to learn the patterns of human behavior. They know that humans are predictable. They know that if you use a capital letter, it is probably at the beginning. They know that if you use a number, it is probably at the end, and it is likely a birth year or a significant date. The AI doesn't guess randomly. It guesses intelligently. It replicates the way the human brain thinks about security, and it can run through millions of these high-probability guesses in a matter of seconds. By 2026, these tools have become so sophisticated that even a 12-character password with symbols and numbers can be cracked in under a minute if it follows a common human pattern. Hackers are now using AI to scrape your public data from the web to create a custom dictionary of terms just for you. It looks at your LinkedIn profile, your Instagram tags, and your public comments to find keywords. It then feeds those keywords into the AI cracker, which generates thousands of variations. It is a personalized, automated assault on your digital identity. If you think your password is clever because you replaced an E with a 3 or an S with a $sign, think again. The AI learned those tricks 10 years ago. It sees right through them. But the real danger in 2026 isn't just the password cracking. It is the AI's ability to bypass traditional multi-factor authentication. Many people feel safe because they have text message codes enabled, but hackers are now using AI-driven social engineering bots to steal those codes. These bots can place a call to your phone, using a cloned voice of a bank representative or a tech support agent, as we have discussed in previous deep dives. The bot speaks with perfect grammar and a professional tone, convincing you that there is a security breach and asking you to read back the code you just received. Because the bot is an AI, it can handle thousands of these calls simultaneously. It doesn't get tired, it doesn't make mistakes, and it is incredibly convincing. This is why the old methods of security are crumbling. We are fighting a war of algorithms, and the average user is caught in the middle with outdated weapons. So, let's talk about the one setting that actually stops this. We are moving away from the concept of something you know, like a password, and moving towards something you have. The setting you need to enable is called hardware-backed passkeys, or FIDO2 security keys. You might have seen the option for passkeys popping up on your Google, Apple, or Amazon accounts lately. Most people ignore it because it sounds complicated, but it is actually the single most effective defense against AI hacking in existence today. A passkey replaces your password with a unique digital signature that is stored locally on your device, or a physical security key like a YubiKey. When you try to log in, the website sends a challenge to your device. Your device then uses your biometrics, like a fingerprint or face scan, to unlock the private key stored in its secure enclave. It signs the challenge and sends it back. Here is the magic part. The private key never leaves your device. It is never sent over the internet. It is never stored on the website's servers. This means that even if a hacker has an AI that can guess 1 trillion passwords a second, there is no password for it to guess. Even if they create a perfect phishing site that looks exactly like your bank, the passkey will refuse to sign the login because it is cryptographically tied to the actual, legitimate domain of the site. It makes phishing technically impossible. In 2026, The record numbers of account takeovers are almost entirely targeted at people who are still using traditional passwords and SMS-based codes. Hackers go for the low-hanging fruit. By switching to passkeys, you move yourself from the easiest target to the hardest. An AI cannot fake a physical hardware handshake. It cannot replicate the secure enclave of your smartphone. This one setting creates a wall that the current generation of hacking tools simply cannot climb. It turns the tide of the digital war back in your favor. Let's get into the technical layers of why passkeys are so superior to the old way of doing things. In traditional security, you and the server both know a secret, which is your password. If the server is hacked, that secret is leaked. In 2026, server breaches are happening at an alarming rate. We have seen massive databases of hundreds of millions of passwords leaked onto the dark web. Once your password is leaked from one site, the AI hackers use a technique called credential stuffing. They take your leaked email and password and try it on every other major platform automatically. Because most people reuse passwords or use slight variations, the AI can break into dozens of your accounts in minutes. With passkeys, there is no shared secret. The server only has your public key, which is useless on its own. If the server is hacked, a hacker gets a list of public keys that cannot be used to log into anything. Your secret, the private key, stays in your pocket, protected by the hardware of your phone or your computer. This shifts the entire security model from a centralized risk to a decentralized defense. For anyone interested in computer knowledge, this is the biggest shift in authentication since the invention of the password itself in the 1960s. Now, you might be wondering about what happens if you lose your phone. This is the most common reason people hesitate to turn on this setting. But in 2026, the ecosystem has solved this. Most passkey systems, like the ones from Apple and Google, sync your passkeys across your devices using their encrypted cloud services. If you get a new phone, your passkeys are restored securely. Additionally, you can and should register multiple methods. You can have a passkey on your phone, one on your laptop, and a physical USB security key as a backup. This creates a redundant, ironclad security layer. The inconvenience of setting this up for 10 minutes is nothing compared to the months of stress and financial loss that come with a total account takeover. We also have to talk about the AI's role in session hijacking. In 2026, hackers are using malware that can steal your browser cookies. These cookies are what keep you logged in so you don't have to enter your password every time. When a hacker steals your session cookie, they can clone your logged-in state on their own computer, bypassing the password and the multi-factor authentication entirely. However, the latest implementation of passkeys and hardware keys includes something called device binding. It ensures that the session is tied to the physical hardware that initiated it. If the cookie is moved to a different machine, it becomes instantly invalid. This is another area where the one setting of hardware-backed authentication stops a sophisticated AI attack in its tracks. The institutional church of big tech has been slow to force this on users because they are afraid of the friction. They want the user experience to be as smooth as possible. But the data they hide shows a devastating reality. The volume of automated attacks is increasing exponentially. In 2026, we are seeing a record number of identity theft cases that start with a simple password reset or a compromised secondary account. The hackers use AI to find the weakest link in your digital chain. Often it is an old account you haven't used in years that still has an easy password. From there, they use the AI to map your recovery options and climb the ladder to your primary accounts. If you are a power user, you should also be looking at the setting for advanced protection programs. For example, Google offers an advanced protection program specifically for people at high risk, like journalists, business leaders, or anyone who just wants the best security possible. This setting mandates the use of physical hardware keys and blocks almost all non-secure sign-in attempts. It is essentially the nuclear option for account security. It stops the AI bots cold because they cannot physically touch a USB key in your house. Let's look at the computer science behind the AI's social engineering capabilities. These bots are now using something called behavioral mirroring. They analyze your public writing style and then use LLMs to craft emails and messages that sound exactly like you, sent to your contacts to spread malware. This is how the AI moves from one account to the entire network. But the chain is broken the moment it hits someone with a passkey. The bot can't bypass the hardware check, and the spread of the infection stops. You aren't just protecting yourself by enabling this one setting. You are protecting your entire network of friends, family, and colleagues from being targeted by an AI using your identity. In 2026, we have also seen a rise in what hackers call ghost accounts. These are accounts that have been compromised by an AI bot but remain dormant. The AI waits for a specific moment, like a large financial transaction or a sensitive conversation, to intervene. It monitors your banking activity in the background, waiting for the right second to strike. Because the bot is an AI, it can maintain this stealth for months. The only way to ensure your accounts are clean is to migrate to a passwordless system that invalidates all existing passwords and session tokens. Moving to passkeys does exactly that. It's like changing the locks on every door in your house and giving yourself the only set of keys that cannot be copied. Why is this not the default yet? Because change is hard. People are comfortable with passwords, even though they are dangerous. We have been trained for 30 years to remember a string of characters, but in the era of AI, human memory is no longer a viable security tool. A machine will always be better at guessing than you are at hiding. We have to move the security away from the human brain and into the hardware. The one setting of passkeys is the bridge to that future. It takes the burden of security off your shoulders and puts it into the hands of specialized chips designed for this exact purpose. I want you to think about the accounts you have right now. Your email, your bank, your social media, your cloud storage. If an AI broke into just one of those at 3 in the morning, what would your life look like at 8 in the morning? The recovery process in 2026 is a nightmare. Support teams are overwhelmed by the record numbers of hacks, and many platforms have automated their recovery process, which, ironically, the hackers are also using AI to exploit. The best defense is to never let them in the first place. When you go into your security settings today, look for terms like passwordless, passkeys, or security keys. Turn off the option for SMS recovery if you can, and replace it with an authenticator app, or, better yet, a hardware key. The hackers are counting on your laziness. They are counting on the fact that you will watch this video and think, "I'll do that later." But later is when the bot strikes. The AI doesn't take breaks, it doesn't take weekends off, and it is scanning the web for your accounts right now. The transition to a passwordless world is the single most important thing happening in computer knowledge this year. It is a fundamental shift in how we define identity in a digital space. For years, we have been told to make our passwords longer and more complex. We have been told to change them every 90 days. We now know that was bad advice. It just led to people using predictable patterns that AI is perfectly suited to crack. The new advice is simple. Stop using passwords. Use the hardware you already carry in your pocket to prove who you are. It's also important to realize that this isn't just about big tech companies. We are seeing smaller platforms and even local government sites starting to support passkeys in 2026. This is part of a global effort to fix the broken identity system of the internet. The hackers are terrified of this. They are losing their primary revenue stream. This is why we are seeing a massive surge in attacks right now. They are trying to get as much as they can before the world finally moves away from passwords for good. You want to be on the right side of that transition. The technical community is already there. If you talk to any high-level cybersecurity researcher, they aren't using a master password for their vault. They are using physical keys. They are using biometrics tied to hardware. They have seen the data, they have seen the AI tools in action, and they know that the old way is finished. By following their lead and enabling this one setting, you are giving yourself the same level of protection as the most secure people on the planet. Let's do a quick walkthrough of how you can check your status. Go to your primary email account, the one that acts as the hub for everything else. Go to the Security tab. Look at your login methods. If you see a password there, you are at risk. If you see passkey or hardware key as the primary method, you are on the right track. Check your secondary accounts too. Hackers often use a forgotten shopping account or a niche forum account to find your personal details and start the AI-driven scraping process. Securing the hub is step one, but securing the spoke accounts is just as important. In 2026, we are also seeing AI tools that can crack encrypted backup files. If you have your passwords stored in an unencrypted or poorly encrypted file on your desktop, an AI tool can get past that in seconds. This is another reason why storing your credentials in the secure enclave of a hardware device is so essential. The encryption there is done at the silicon level. It is physically separated from the rest of the operating system, making it virtually impossible for an external AI to reach. The battle for your digital life is happening in the nanoseconds between a login request and a server response. In those nanoseconds, the hacker's AI is working to impersonate you, while your security system is working to verify you. By enabling passkeys, you are making that verification process mathematically certain. You are removing the human element of error, forgetfulness, and predictability. You are replacing a weak, guessable secret with an unbreakable cryptographic proof. We are living through a record shift in the landscape of digital trust. As AI becomes more capable of mimicking our voices, our faces, and our writing styles, the only thing that remains truly ours is our physical presence and the hardware we control. This is the reality of 2026. We cannot trust what we see or hear on a screen, but we can trust the math of a hardware-backed passkey. It is the one thing the AI cannot fake. Take the 60 seconds it takes to change this setting. Don't wait for your account to be the next one in the record-breaking statistics of identity theft. The tools to stay safe are already in your hand. You just have to use them. The era of the hacker is being powered by AI, but the era of the secure user is being powered by better architecture. Be an architect of your own security. Don't let a machine guess your way into a disaster. Your digital life is worth more than a 60-character string. It's worth the best protection available. As we move forward into this increasingly automated world, stay curious about the systems you use. Understand the why behind the security prompts. When you see a site asking you to set up a passkey, don't see it as a chore. See it as a gift. It is that site offering you a way to be unhackable. It is them giving you the tools to win the war against the AI bots. The internet of 2026 is a different beast than it was even 5 years ago. It is faster, smarter, and more dangerous. But it is also more resilient for those who take the right steps. You have the knowledge now. You know how the hackers are using AI to break into accounts in under a minute, and you know the one setting that stops them. The power is in your hands. Go into your settings, secure your accounts, and breathe a sigh of relief knowing that while the AI might be getting smarter, you just outsmarted it. Stay secure, stay informed, and keep pushing the boundaries of what you know about the digital world. The future is passwordless, and it's a much safer place to be. Take the leap today, and don't look back. You have better things to do with your time than recovering a hacked account, like exploring the incredible potential of this new technological era with a clear and secure mind. This is the new standard of computer knowledge, and you are now part of the elite group of users who are actually prepared for what's coming next. Keep your hardware close and your secrets closer. The bots are waiting, but they aren't getting in today. Not on your watch, not into your accounts. Stay safe out there.